Welcome to the Gamer Hole. This is a talk show podcast. Today's guest is General Sam. He is a bad boy gamer YouTuber, known for his quick wit, ability to make others feel uncomfortable, as well as a pretty substantial case of sciatica.
Let's fucking go!
Episode 1, General Sam.
Ready
Decky,
when
you
you
have
are.
such nice lighting. I need to get lighting like that. You too, Kings.
$5 garage lights. So I don't know
It's still a
about
light. I just have I have nothing here. Sam, your lighting looks pretty good too.
Thank you.
And your thighs.
Eyes look really good.
I got blue undies on. Look at these fucking things.
Oh, nice.
And gray ones over the blue ones, I see.
No,
these are very
these
short.
These are jogging shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I jog a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
General Sam, thank you for being our first guest.
This is only like my fourth podcast. I've been the first episode guest on, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're a likable guy. What can I say?
Am I? This thing has my permission to go on until the Tarkov servers are back up, and then I'm gonna walk off this fucking screen into the distance. And my back's off. I fucked up my lower back. I moved this couch, and I brought my wife in here. She moved this big chair out of the way because I'm not strong enough to move it.
So speaking of that, we should probably introduce Sterdeki, who's also a host on this podcast. I can't talk today.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Decky is a
Hi.
Twitch streamer.
Hi, Sterdeki. Nice to meet you. You guys are gonna have to deal with my daughter wandering around. I hear, yeah, she's starting to cry.
That's fine.
She's wandering around in there. You know me, man. The second Aqua even mentioned canceling, I grabbed him by the throat. I said, I cancel you. You don't cancel me.
Well, you've been actively trying to for the past several years.
It's not working.
No,
I've
it's
tried
not.
so hard to slander you in every way. It doesn't fucking work. When you were doing that Super Mario speed running stream, I tried to turn your chat against you and it worked a little bit, but you just kept trucking and acted like you didn't see it.
I didn't see it. That's the thing. I didn't.
If he did, it would have been ruined. Like,
Yeah.
that's the big thing.
Honestly,
You were in the middle of fighting Bowser, and I was like, dude, you know why he's so good at this? Because he's had so much practice. He does it to dogs all the time on the streets in New York. Grabs him
No,
by
I
the
didn't see
tail and
that.
swing. Gah!
That's, to say something like that, that means you have to think it first.
No,
Like,
I was
that's an
horrified when I
that's an
saw you do
insane
it.
Thought. Like, that's an actually insane thing to think. I've been playing Mario my whole life. I've never once thought of doing that to a dog.
You never?
No, not once. The one
Yeah.
time I've seen Sam interact with his dog, it was the dog literally cowering in fear under a table or something from him. And
Dude,
now
my
I
dog-
know why. Yeah.
Can I go get a drink from my
Yeah,
little
yeah,
fridge
go
thing?
ahead.
Yeah.
Hurry up!
I got these like
Look at the way
I
you
gotta-
hobble. Good God.
Yeah, he was like hobbling. Like, it's too much jogging or
dude,
something.
No, my fucking back is so messed up, I'm telling you. On. Okay, Abby got me, what is this, a Frappuccino? No, I don't want that. Wait, what's a Frappuccino?
Something with milk. Something
What
that'll
is
give
that,
me
right?
diarrhea. I don't know.
Yeah,
Decky, how do you get your hair to look so good all the time?
Why the fuck didn't you
Had a
ask me
haircut
that,
like
Jack?
3 months, it's getting real rough.
Well, Decky's got like a better version of what you got going on, Sam. I feel like he's got that big swoop thing to the
Yeah,
side, and
big
like
swoop.
his looks real cool, and yours is cool too, I guess. But it's just
No, it's not.
yeah.
So I would like to take a moment and talk to General Sam about a couple of things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of slander for a minute, let's talk about the slander that you gave to Last Oasis in your video.
Yeah, I keep
You and the
dog
Boner City
shit.
Boys not being very kind to my game.
Why, did you
I
develop
gave
that
up
or something?
Tarkov.
No,
Yeah.
no. Decky is the biggest Last Oasis streamer. Like, he
Oh, yeah.
loves the game, and all
I'm
he
at
does
like
is stream it.
400 hours in just over a month. Like at least 10 hours a day.
Is it
I'm personally with the Sand Sluts. I think we could have been friends if the Boner City Boys are still around.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. That game's amazing. You got wood punk boats, and you got a bunch of naked dudes, and you just hang out in the sand all the time, fucking and getting fucked.
Did you say you're the biggest Last Oasis streamer?
Well,
Yes,
let's not-
currently, yes,
No,
I think
I'm
that's-
not. There's
What's
no
the
streamers in
concurrent
Last Oasis.
viewers
Yeah.
on Last Oasis, biggest Last Oasis? streamer?
Whatever Decky's view count is.
Yeah,
Pretty much that.
he's the only guy there. Wait, you promised me I'd be front and center, and you guys would be.
Well, we're
We'll
gonna
put you
we're
on the
gonna
center.
layer each don't worry, you'll be all right.
I want Sturdecki to be. I want his green screen to be overlaid on my thigh, so it's just like his head popping up.
I'll have him,
Over my
I'll have him
leg.
sitting on your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, Decky is actually one of the most dedicated streamers I've ever seen. That guy puts
Yeah?
in some serious time.
It's gotten me nowhere, but put in a lot of time. Yeah.
That's the
Streaming
else about me.
sucks. Streaming sucks so bad. Don't let these guys fool you. You're a what are those people call a panhandler with a little cup going, please give me some change, please. And then, and I'm not going to be like Aqua where he's like, I'm shutting off my webcam until the donations and the subs reach this amount. I'm not going to. I just have too much integrity. That's what it is. Yeah, no, it just sucks. I just hated I think streaming, there's two types of content creation. There's for YouTube, I feel like it caters more to introverted people, and streaming is a very big extrovert thing. And while I did have some good moments streaming, I did like streaming sometimes, I felt like at the end of it, as soon as I turned off the thing, I felt like I was drained. And if you're like an introverted person, you'll know that yeah, you can have a fun time at a party. Like Aqua, when we were in Seattle, had a blast. I love seeing you. You're a great friend of mine. But then when on the plane ride home, I was like, it was a very big relief to get back to
We
myself,
all felt that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can turn it on when I have to, but when
Yeah.
I'm off, I'm off. And that's
Dude,
what
I love alone time.
That's what my
you know?
soon-to-be wife gets to spend time with. Just me, just off like a zombie, just sitting there,
Yeah.
completely just. How was your day?
I just speak in grunts.
How was your day? Yeah.
Dude, I was watching you when I was watching you stream that shit, I was like, that Mario 64, I was like, those songs, they keep hitting me like wave after wave, like audible uppercuts, dude. I hadn't heard those songs in a decade.
Yeah.
And they were just like, they're
time to
bangers,
get back
one after
involved.
another, you know?
That game has the most glorious soundtrack of all time. You know
Yeah.
what? That was the launch title with the N64. More interestingly than that game nailed motion physics.
You know, I knew that game had great physics when I chucked that baby penguin off the cliff in that game.
Yeah.
And you see it, you can see it, you can calculate it reaches terminal velocity in 12 seconds, just like a regular baby penguin does when you throw it off a cliff in real life. And I was like, this is fucking incredible. I can't believe they actually
It really
went
nailed
through the
those
time. Yeah, they nailed
physics,
it, you know?
all right. Yeah.
Man, they did the math on it, and I gotta congratulate them on that.
How did you get on the whole speedrun thing, Aqua? 'Cause that's a deep dark hole that
Okay, so I've been
never wanna go down.
interested. Yeah, don't. I've been interested in that for years, particularly in Super Mario, 64. I don't really care about.
All right,
other-
get the fuck out of here. You called him Super Mario? Dude, what are you,
Super
my
Mario.
grandma?
Sorry, Super
What
Mario.
are you gonna ask me about my Pokemon
Did I say Mario?
cards? You said
My
Mario.
Pokemon
Super
cards.
Mario.
Yeah.
I never beat
Yeah.
the game when I was a
Right,
kid.
as
I didn't
soon
have an
as-
N64 though.
What is-
N64 either? Yeah,
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I think I rented it from Blockbuster, like the actual system.
More importantly, with that N64, the controller, you know how it's like the 3 sticks?
Yeah.
It's not designed for a human with 2 arms. Why didn't
Yeah.
someone come out with a Mad Catz version where they just got rid of the middle stick?
They did.
They
But
did, yeah.
you just recently,
Yeah, why didn't some genius go, hey, humans only have 2 hands, so let's just get rid of this middle cock thing, and then they can hold it like a normal person. What I think I'm gonna get with Sturdecki on this one. What you need to do, I don't see the end game here. Are you trying to be number 1? You know,
No.
what you should do is you should find a game that's dead and then conquer that, and then you can be number 1 there. Like that Dead Side game. It's not ripe, Sturdecki, but in 3 months, that's your game.
I wanted to play it, but I was too in Last Oasis. I was like, this
Yeah.
looks like it's gonna die.
Dead Side's
It's a
good.
shitty
Dead
Days
Side's
game.
good. I really like it. I made 2 videos on it. and
Yeah.
said it was decent in the videos, and someone with glasses, and not the other two people here with glasses, someone started making a big stink on Twitter. Is it good, really? Did they really fix it? I need to know. I'm the game police, and I am gonna make a whole video giving a big fucking stink about you saying it's good again, like with DayZ. And guess what? DayZ is good, and they did fix it, and I've been having a blast playing it.
Now, a year and a half ago, Aqua made a video talking about DayZ being fixed. And right now it is fixed. But at the time of that fucking video, it wasn't fixed. So don't let him off the hook because what he said came true. Because at the time of him making that, it wasn't fucking true.
I fully agree.
It
that
was.
It was not fixed when Aqua made that video.
Oh, fuck off, Decky.
I know. Dog.
You still can't drive a car properly. Like it still.
Hey,
bugs
no one
out all
said
the time.
anything about cars, all right? We're not trying to we're not trying to reinvent the modern video game here.
You know that guy, Sequisha?
Yeah, beautiful mustache.
Yeah, I fucking hate that guy's guts because like every day I get on Twitter and I'm sitting there trying to lose weight. This guy has a beautiful mustache. He's trim and healthy, and then he posts pictures on Twitter of like these giant
food porn all the time.
Yeah, food porn. He posts like barbecue plates that would make like my grandma's gout burn just looking at him. Fuck you, dude. Like if I ate that stuff, I'd be huge.
Yeah.
You'd have a hard time getting my fucking sides to fit in the screen here, and that's why I hobble when I walk.
Yeah, the pressure of his sheer density and mass. What is the grossest thing that ever happened to you?
It was a moment where I realized my limits. There's two moments in my life where I realized my limits. And one of them when I was doing the first hiking video on the Appalachian Trail, and I started puking everywhere, and I realized I was like 2 days from civilization in every direction. And I was walking in the rain, right? And like the rain was like going all down my face, and my brother was looking at me and he was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like I was so thankful it was raining so hard because I was fucking crying. And he couldn't see because it was raining so hard. And I was sitting there thinking about, I was like, dude, I always thought of myself as like, you know, every guy thinks they're a lot more badass than they are. And in that moment I realized I was crying because I was puking in the middle of the woods, and I was like 2 days from civilization. I was like, God, I'm so much more of a bitch than I thought I was, right?
This is why I don't camp. Why do you keep doing this? You're not made for this, Sam. I've been telling you this since I met you. Why do you keep going into the woods? You're an inside cat, all right?
It's like a childbirth, you know? When it's happening, it's traumatic and painful, and it feels like you're shitting out a baby. But afterwards, like a year later, you look back with fond memories.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not been to like a real doctor in like 15 years.
No,
But,
you're one of them street dogs like me, you know? In our,
I mean, I'm not dead yet. I
yeah.
think I'm out of date on all my vaccines, and if I touch a piece of like rusted metal, I'm gonna get tetanus. But you know, it'll be all right.
When's the last time everyone took a shower here?
Yesterday, I take a shower every day.
I'm very liable to go for like 3 days.
Uh,
I'll give a bit. I've talked about this is actually a second part, which nobody's ever heard. This is first time only for this unnamed podcast. I've talked about it a lot that I drank my own piss one time by mistake. Back when I played World of Warcraft, you know, piss bottles everywhere, 2 liters of Dr. Pepper. And, you know, when you're raiding and doing other stuff, you don't have time. So you just pee in a bottle. I didn't stream then or anything, so it didn't matter. And so like you have, you know, multiple bottles filled with pee on your desk, and then you have a couple of bottles that, you know, are unopened, or the one that you're drinking. And, you know, I was in the middle of raiding or doing something. So I like grabbed the bottle, drank it, and I was all like, this is definitely not Dr. Pepper. This is piss. And so like I spit it out all over my desk, which made the mess even worse. and I've referenced this story multiple times, but it actually goes further back than that. I've been a pee bottle boy. Well, I guess I got it from my dad, because this is where it's going. When I was a kid, my dad had an office at home in the attic, and he pee bottled in the attic.
Classic. Okay. Everyone's father does this.
Yeah,
like, come
my
on.
dad pees all over the house.
And it was always Big K, like the Kroger brand, off-brand drink of Diet Coke. And I remember I would sneak up there to get the Big K sometimes, and the lights were off, and I snuck up there to get Big K, and I drank my dad's piss.
You got the big P, not the big K.
Nobody's ever heard that story before.
You should take a little whiff of things
together.
Before you
this
drink
was like
them.
when I was 10. The other one was like, you know, well,
Last week.
I still had pee bottles like 3 years ago, but
I was this is the grossest thing that's ever happened to me. I was driving with my friend on a very hot summer night in his 95 Jetta, and we were in there smoking weed, as like 20-year-olds do. And we passed this dead rabbit that was just bacon on the street. It was just, that thing it had been there for days, just like roasting in the sun. The windows were open. It was a hot summer night, and we were getting high in the car. All the windows were open. You need to do something, Sam?
All right, keep going, dude. I'm listening.
Yeah, okay. We hit this rabbit with the front right wheel of the car, and my arm was hanging out the window, and the window was open. I was in the passenger seat, and just blood and guts, hot rabbit blood, guts, just splattered all over the right side of my body. And I nearly just ended it that night because that was so unbelievably disgusting.
I had a biology teacher that was so interested in like weird, I guess, biology shit. She would tell us like as if it was normal. I was in like 6th grade. She's like, "Oh yeah. I like dissecting stuff. So whenever I see roadkill, if it's fresh, I'll scoop it up with a shovel and put it in the back of my truck, and I'll dissect it when I get home." And now that I'm older, I'm like, that's some weird serial killer shit.
Yeah,
like
that's literally what serial killers do. Yeah.
My mom did that. Except, actually, I haven't thought
they
about
were
it
alive when she started.
I don't have a really good relationship with my mother, but all growing up, she had this thing about animal tails. And she had this big, like, wooden bowl cut out that she'd keep in the living room filled with, like, dead animals' tails. That was really weird. But, like, she was a freak with it because, like, we'd be driving on the road, she'd see, like, a dead raccoon. She'd be like, pull over, let's get it. And then she kept an axe in her trunk to cut off the tail on the road. Yeah, but she would, or a lot of times, like if my dad was driving, she'd be like, let me open the door, and she'd be like, just go slow, and she'd like reach out and grab it. Like while the car's moving, and then like if it was like a busy thing, because she knew like if somebody sees you over on the side of the road hacking at something, it's going to cause issues. Should we take it to like, a little bit less known area and then she cut off the tail and put it in a plastic bag?
She's doing it the barbarian way. You know what you should do to rekindle this relationship with your mom? You need to get her one of those cigar cutters. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, because that's a little bit more inconspicuous than like a hatchet. She can walk up there and walk out of there with a tail.
Classy way,
Yeah.
That brings up a lot of things for me. I had a very strange upbringing in the first place, but that was. Okay.
Have you guys heard that story about the poop knife? Yeah, it was along the same thing of like Sterdeki realizing that his mom collecting tails was a weird thing. It was this guy who was talking about his first instance having a sleepover at a friend's house, and he takes a big shit, and it like goes across the hole of the toilet like sideways, right? And he goes in there to the living room of his friend's family, and in front of like the parents, he goes like, "Hey, where's your guys' poop knife?" And they were like, "What?" And he's like, at that moment, their confusion on their faces, I realized that not every family has a butter knife that they keep on the back of the toilet to chop up shit when it's too big to fit down the hole.
You want to hear something cool?
Yeah,
my
go for
mother
it.
taught me to use a coat hanger when that happens, and then get rid of the coat hanger.
That's like the bulkiest thing you could use.
I didn't think of this, but I come from a long line of coat hanger people. I'm just saying, I've seen my mom digging into a toilet with a coat hanger on numerous occasions.
Yeah, Brian, Brian, right, Aqua?
Yeah.
A good friend of mine, he had the same issue where he went over to his friend's house and he took a shit and it went sideways across the hole in the toilet, and he had to go tell his friend's dad. He's like, "The poop won't fit," right? So,
that was my biggest fear as a kid. Biggest fear, yeah.
I wet the bed till I was 7 years old, right?
I was
strong. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my brother says that's a trademark of a serial killer. They all wet the bed till they were old. And then another thing was like they always have a huge love for that book Catcher in the Rye. Mm-hmm. What a fantastic piece of literature. But anyways, I was hanging out at my friend's house for the first time, sleeping over, and I had gotten over my bedwetting, right? Wasn't a thing anymore. Or so I thought. And in the middle of the night, I woke up next morning, bed was saturated with urine. And so I looked at it and said, well, fuck, I ain't gonna tell this kid it was the first time I slept over at his house. I'm not gonna tell him I pissed in his bed. So I just made the bed back up.
I went to a Christian summer camp called Kanakuk. I think it's in Indiana, but it was like a month-long summer camp. And like you stayed in cabins with like 6 other dudes, and you had like a counselor that stays in there with you. Pissed all over that shit every night.
What was your way of hiding it?
Like hot mattresses, you know, that are just like plastic on the outside. And after,
were you top bunk?
No, I was bottom bunk, thank God.
Just raining down on your bunk mate.
But my counselor was cool enough to never call me out for it. So
very related story. I went to this Camp Indian Springs, I think is what it was called. Very similar camp. I was still pissing the bed. I got the top bunk.
Everyone must have loved you.
Yeah, here's the kicker though, because I was wearing pull-ups, right? Everybody would store their dirty clothes in a trash bag tied to the corner post of their bunk bed. And so that's where they would put their dirty laundry. And then they had a foot locker at the end of their bed that they would store all their clean clothes in. Every morning, I would slip off my pull-ups and I would cram them in the bag of the guy underneath me.
What?
In his bag. Because I was like, I'm not having all these piss-covered diapers, like, in my bag. Like, fuck this guy.
What happens when he washes his clothes?
But on the last day, he goes to open it up and put all of his stuff in. He's like, it's full of diapers. And everybody in the fucking cabin made fun of him for having diapers. And I was like, I was sitting there like, ha, you fucking idiot. Look at this fucking guy. He's got diapers. Look at him, fucking idiot. And he was so perplexed. But the counselor guy, the dude that was in the cabin, he knew it was me. And he just sat there. He didn't say a damn word as I was ridiculing this kid for having diapers.
Sam, you're the worst.
I pissed in the ball pit. No, it's a foam pit. Worse. It's worse. You can't wash
a foam pit. Yeah, you can't wash a foam pit.
Never said a word about it.
I have IBS, and when I was a kid, it was really bad. So like you're like shitting yourself all the time. You're like constantly going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So my parents had to pick me up at my girlfriend's house. My stomach's starting to hurt. I gotta like wait this out because I don't want to like fucking destroy the bathroom.
You want to have to break out the poop knife at your girlfriend's house.
Yeah, exactly. The poop knife. And then I make it almost all the way home before I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna explode. So we pull into our road, so it's like a mile away. I'm gonna literally shit my pants right in the car. We finally pull into my driveway, make it about halfway up because I have a long driveway, but it's not, it's not that big. And I'm like, that's it. Open up the doors. I'm getting out. So I got out, went into like the little bit of woods and just completely destroyed the woods. Like the whole woods was just plastered. Just
Man,
like,
you almost made it.
I almost
So
made it,
close.
but I didn't. So then I took off my socks and wiped my ass and just left the socks right there.
Are they
Just
still
made
there
it.
to this day?
I don't know. Probably maybe.
I was in 10th grade math class, and I, had a bit of an issue in terms of getting a boner in class. I was in the back right of the classroom, and the door and the light switch were also in the back right. And my teacher just pulls out the overhead projector. You remember those things?
Oh, yeah.
To do
And
some...
they're like John Madden up there writing fucking
Yeah.
playbooks and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
My teacher just goes, Ian, care to turn off the lights for the class? And I was like, okay. So I like scooped my legs up and kept my knees like tucked up like this and just like used my arms to like surf my way to the back of the room because there were some desks between me and where the lights were. I looked down, I'm like, I can't turn back around. This is a horrible situation. So like I turned the light off and just walked out of the room and just made it seem like I was going to the bathroom. Thank goodness there was no one in the hallway.
I always found that like I was at one of those middle schools that made you tuck in your shirt, right? And so the quick boner up into the waistband technique, sometimes you'd get it caught where your fucking cock would be in between your shirt and your pants. And so like the head of your cock would just be out into the world. Right?
Yeah.
And so like I was like, oh, I ain't doing that again. So I would do like the trapper keeper. I wouldn't have it in my backpack. I would just have it in my hand. And you would see kids down the hallway all the time, just like holding their binder in front of their crotch while they're walking as a shield to protect the young ladies from seeing the boner.
Classic maneuver.
Charborg?
Yeah.
I feel like I love Charborg a lot more than he likes me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm like, hey, Charborg. And I always feel like he's like, oh,
Hey, Sam.
Sam. Yeah, that's right. Your name's Sam. Yeah. And I was telling that guy Jimmy about that, and Jimmy's like, I feel the same way. I feel like I love Charles
I
Morgan.
just
and
want
feel
him to
he
like me
freaking-
so bad. He's so
I know.
cool.
He's such a cool guy. I wish he
Yeah.
liked me.
Yeah. This is kind of like a direct ripoff of the ghost story thing from the H3H3 podcast. But has anything happened to you that you just like couldn't explain? Just something very strange, creepy, just something you just have no concept or any idea of how it happened.
I like how you stole a question from a podcast that is in very deep shit right now.
Yeah, we probably should cut that out.
Hey,
Cut out
listen, it's a
the
good question,
explanation.
and I find myself only watching this question.
When I was a kid, I used to sleep in my mom's bed a lot. You know, I'm a mama's boy. And on a side note, I used
Did you
to
pee in
straddle
it
my
too?
mom in the living room so she couldn't see the fucking TV, and I would show her my Pokemon cards. And she'd be like, she'd look at me and go, all right, you can show me 5 more, and then you're done. And I'm going to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So when I would sleep in my mom's bed, she had like those, those closet doors that are like the folding accordion ones. And they never quite met up in the middle. And there was always like this gap in between the closet door.
Mhm.
And at night, I remember one night I did not sleep the entire fucking night, and I was paralyzed with fear because she had, first of all, I fucking hated sleeping on that side of the bed because it was right next to the closet door and there was that little gap. And I knew in that closet was a Raggedy Ann doll that I was terrified of. I don't know if you guys know what a Raggedy Ann doll is.
Sure do. Yeah.
And I knew it was up there from whenever she would go grab clothes and stuff. I would see it looming on the top shelf. Well, apparently, like I was sitting there like sleeping. And I wake up and I remember, hey, that Raggedy Ann doll's up there. I would always see it off to the right when she would open up the door. And I hadn't thought that apparently my mom at some point had grabbed something off the top shelf and had moved the Raggedy Ann doll. Because at this point in the night, I looked up and up the crack, I followed the crack all the way up. And at the very top, the Raggedy Ann doll had fallen sideways and both of its fucking eyes were looking through the slit in the closet door down at me. You know, like I think they're like triangles or something. And I sat there like locking eyes with that Raggedy Ann doll for like 4 hours until sunlight came through the window and I got up and ran out of there.
Yeah.
I grew up in Tennessee, which is like filled with Civil War battlefields, and especially like the town that I lived in was. You would have some spooky stuff here or there, and like I'd go play in like graveyards and shit. But
Well, it's hard to get scared when your mom collects the tails of dead animals. Oh, cool. Oh, look at this. Abby's got a sign for me. I'm going to Chick-fil-A. Do you want a number 1? Yes, I do. I thought I saw something looming over there.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like to reserve these words for only specific moments, but this is a poggers moment. You know? I just wanted to say
This
that.
is a pretty
never
pog
thought-
champ day, dude.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
pog champ. You're from Tennessee. I don't know if you've ever seen an alligator before. You ever fuck with alligators?
definitely not in Tennessee, but I've seen alligators. Yeah.
Those things are beyond creepy to me. They run 100% on instinct. They don't have like emotion. Like a cat, you know, you can like scream at a cat and call it a cunt and you'll like hurt its feelings, you know, it can tell it's mad at you. Like other animals have like emotions and stuff, but like reptiles don't. And snakes, they don't have legs, so they're like cripples. Fuck them. But like alligators, they got like legs and shit. They're like, I don't know, they're odd. They're like dinosaurs. And I always saw that video of like, they go to feed the crocodiles or whatever, and like the one crocodile sees the chicken land on the ground and it goes to lunge for it and ends up biting the leg off another crocodile. And the croc that gets its leg bit off doesn't phase it at all. I've never seen an animal get its leg ripped off and it's still going, yeah, but where'd that chicken go? You know?
Thank you so much for watching The Gamer Hole. Just a quick reminder, if you want to see some exclusive episodes, as well as behind the scenes and uncut versions of the episodes you see here on YouTube, or if you just want to support The Gamer Hole, check us out on Patreon. It's linked in the description below. You get all kinds of fun little perks in there. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next episode of The Gamer Hole.